and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 146. Thank you for stopping by each week and spending time with me as I do my little crafty things that keep multiplying like rabbits. I keep finding more crafts and more things I'm doing, and I keep getting sidetracked. It's like squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. I keep getting distracted. As you remember, the other week I was supposed to be making cowls for Christmas, like neck cowls, and instead I found a sweater that my mother had started, and then I started finishing it. That is one of my finished objects. I have two finished objects this week. So let me show you my mother's sweater, and she does know I made this. In fact, they were over the other day, and I showed her. At that point, I hadn't finished it. I was still working on the sleeves. But it is completely done, so let me show you her sweater. Here is the front, and here is the back. The front and the back neckline are about the same, but if you look at the bottom, you'll see that the front is slightly shorter than the back. And when my mother knitted this, that's how she did it. So I don't know if it was intentional or what, but the one side was definitely longer than the other, and I could not replicate this stitch. It is some type of a 1x1. Somebody suggested that it might be a Canadian rib, which has a twist to it. I looked up Canadian rib, and that's not what this is. But it's not your standard. I don't think it looks like your standard 1x1. Because there's some spots right in here where it almost looks like there's a twist. So I don't know exactly. And there's some spots where the yarn is like doubled. I mean, you can see, here's my garter stitch. So if this was your standard garter stitch right here, these stitches would look like these. The center one right here. These are pearls. But here, I'm not sure what they are. So I don't know if it was a mistake my mom made and just did it consistently. Whatever it is, it's really pretty. But there are some sections, like right here, you can actually see there's two, where did I see it now? There's some spots, like right here, where there's actually two threads going in, or two yarns going into one strand, and that I keep seeing that in numerous places. So I'm really not sure what this is, but it's pretty. And so let me show you close up what the neckline is. I just did a one by one rib stitch for the neck, and I didn't do a real big neck stitch because I don't want this tight up around her neck. So there is the neck. So it should fall, my mother's a little smaller than I am, so I think this will be just kind of snug, about like where this collar feels, like a crew neck. And then the sleeves, I did an I-cord bind off, my favorite bind off lately. And so I did that for the sleeves here. So these are not sleeves that are going to be snug against her wrists. They're going to be a little bit loose. And then at the bottom, I again did 1x1 ribbing. So I will be dropping this off to her hopefully this week or so. And there it is. So that is finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 is a second dishcloth for my daughter, and those colors are showing up pretty true. Greens and blues don't always film real well, but that is pretty accurate. And I think she is going to do her kitchen in this color. It's kind of a sage kind of green. Yeah, there you can see it. So I think it'll go nice with this. So I now have a trivet, 2 pot holders, and the trivet is only like 1 extra row around, so it's not a whole lot bigger than the pot holders, so she could use them interchangeably. So we have a trivet, 2 pot holders, and 2 completed dishcloths. And I'm working, oh, there's a thread I didn't get. It's uncompleted. I need to weave this one in. I thought I got them all and I missed one. So I'll have to fix that. So a semi-completed object. I'll have to finish that. So there is her second dishcloth. So that is my finished objects. Now let's go to my works in progress. This is my first work in progress. This is the third in the dishcloths. Now this is a pattern that Yoka sent me, and I don't know if it's one she designed or not. I know she does design patterns, so I don't know if this is one of her designs or not. I don't know what the name of it is, but I really do like it. And you make 12 of these sections, and you're just knitting around like this, so it kind of forms a wedge. And then when you finish, you gather across here, and when you pull it tight, it pulls them all together like that, and then you just hem the 2 ends together. So it's very easy, it's very quick. This has been my car knitting lately, and we were over visiting with my mother-in-law and father-in-law a little while ago, and I probably got 4 or 5 of these sections done in a short time. So yeah, so I'm about 3/4 of the way finished with the third pot holder and that, or the third dishcloth, and that will be it for all the ones that I'm making for her. And I'm making this actually using the Yarn Ball Buddy, and this is a design that Yoka has released. It is over on Ravelry. It is free. It's called Yarn Ball Buddy, and I'll show it up close to you. It's like the perfect size for like a 1 skein, like socks, something like that. So yeah, it holds my skein of yarn in here very, very snugly and comfortably. And I did an I-cord drawstring on it so that I can just wear it around my wrist like this and knit, and the yarn doesn't go all over the place. So yes, that is work in progress number 1. Work in progress number 2 is my Scrappy blanket, and I am on my second large ball of yarn. Let me find where I left off. Okay. I didn't do too much this week. I did, let's see. Looks like I only got 2 rows. I thought I did more than 2 rows. Oh dear, I only did 2 rows. But there you can see, that's where I was. And I did these 2 rows. And you can see there's a color change right there. So this is a different color. These two are the same color. So I went this direction, came back around, and it changed color here, went to here, came back to the end, and now I'm in this color here, which is a purple. So that is my Scrappy blanket. So there it is, and it's just your basic shell stitch, but I'm having fun with it, and I like it, and I don't get bored, so that's the important thing. It's gotten too big for me to take places with, but this is like my TV crochet. I just, put something on TV, and I just randomly do this. So, yeah. And this is not something that I'm in any kind of big hurry to work on. It's just something when I've got some spare time I pick at. So I don't have as much progress on it as some of my other things. Next we have my knitted cotton sweater. This is going to be my last cotton sweater for the season. And you can see this is where I was last week. So I have done quite a bit on this one to go all the way around. And I guess I've done about 1.5 inches. Almost, well, maybe 1 3/4 inches. So there it is. And wait till you see acquisitions. If you remember, I ordered more of the orange yarn, which is this stuff. They don't make this particular brand anymore, so I ordered some other. Didn't quite work out the way I planned. I'll explain when I get to acquisitions. But this is a pattern. This is from Tin Can Knits. This is the Flax Light sweater that I am making. So it's coming along. So all total, it is knit from the top down. So there you can see it from the top down. It's a crew neck top, and I have the sleeves separated here, and they are going to be short sleeves. So there's the sleeves, and there's the yoke of the sweater. I have these beads, and there it is. And it is so soft. I think I'm gonna use this a lot, even though it's an odd color for me. I think it'll look okay on me. It's not as bright as it shows up in the camera, but yeah. Anyway, been working on that. Then, if you remember, I bought some material last week, and I was going to make a couple of project bags. Well, I started on my first one. I'm not finished, but here is the first one. It is quite thick because I have lined it inside, and I mean there's a lining in between the two pieces of material. There's a lining, so it has a little bit of structure. That's the word I'm going for. There's a little bit of structure to it, and I did box the ends here, so it'll hopefully stand up. So I have to close up the top and put the drawstring through, and then it'll be done. And the inside is the polka dots. It's the opposite of this. So inside is the polka dots, and then the little flowers are in the bottom. So the inside is just the opposite of this, polka dots and then the flowers. So that is the other project bag I haven't started. This is my prototype, so to speak. So yeah, there it is. Now I also have another sewing project that I did years ago. I'm thinking 17, probably 18 years ago. My daughter, before she got married, and she was during her year when she was in college, she worked at a furniture store. And so one year, I don't remember if it was for our anniversary or for Christmas. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. She got me a woven table runner that was a blue and white check. I mean, they're big checks, not little checks. And it was woven out of a heavy, I guess it's a heavy cotton. And so anyway, I really have liked it for years. But the navy blue in the checks was fading because it had sat in sunlight. So I almost tossed it out because it was really on its last legs. And then it occurred to me I could flip it inside out. The underside was perfectly fine. It looked as good as the day she gave it to us. So I actually used a seam ripper, and I ripped the seams out on both sides, which would have been where the hem was, and I flipped the hem the opposite direction. So what was the underside is now the top. And so I hope to get a few more years use out of it. So I did not bring that upstairs with me. I will stick a picture in of what it looks like. So I'll stick that in. This is the original side of the table runner. And as you can see, it's gotten some spots. And you can see it's different colors because it's faded. So I simply ripped the seams out here, flipped them the other direction. So now I flipped them the other direction, so now this is now the underside. And this was the underside that I've now made the top. Now I do have to iron it yet, so it's still a little curly on the edges. So once I get that pressed, it's just like brand new again. And then I also have, like I said, lots of projects this week. I also have my diamond art, which I am almost finished with the second one. I showed you the first one that I did with the tree. This one is a vase full of roses, and there's a teacup in the picture, and I think there's a rose laying next to the teacup, something like that. So anyway, I'm going to insert a picture of that as well. This is my diamond art. You can see here's a little teacup over here, and the rose, and a vase of, for the flowers up top here. And I think this looks like it's going to be a teapot or something. It looks like something right over in here. So as you can see the beading, there you go. I have a couple more colors to put in, but not too many. I thought I would show you a little bit about what diamond art really is. You maybe have heard of it, but you don't know what it is. It is a canvas, and this is sticky. And it has codes on here, like these. My camera will not focus. These are like the letter T. And when you go over here, you see that number 17, which is color number 17, is T. And that's the color I'm currently working on. These are little faceted beads. They're just plastic. They have a flat side, and then they have a faceted side. And then you have this stylus that you dip in like a wax on this end. It just helps to pick them up. And so you simply pick up the bead, and then you go over and you put it on the color code. And because this is tacky, it sticks to it. Actually, so does my hair. But yeah, think of it as a giant decorative fly pest strip. There you go. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of mindless. You just sit there and poke them into the right place. And they are shiftable. So if you get in there, I've had to realize that some of mine are not quite in the right place. You just give them a little push and they kind of go into where they're supposed to be. Like these, you can see, are a little out of alignment. So I'll just give them a little shove and get them back into line where they should be. But it's a lot of fun. I tend to keep this in my kitchen, and while I'm cooking dinner, while things are boiling and hopefully not burning, I tend to work on this, although I do get sidetracked and have burned a couple of items. So if you can multitask in your kitchen, this might be an idea for you. Now my last project, I saved to last because I'm really excited about it. That is my Crochet Wrap. I thought I was going to finish this week. I really did. I am so very, very close. Let me show you the side that I've almost finished. The other side I'm playing catch up, and then I'm going to see how much yarn I've got left to see how much bigger I can still make it. Last week, I was right here. I had just finished this little striping section. I have this whole section across here, and this is the V stitch. If you watched last Saturday's podcast, my former coworker came over for the afternoon, and she was showing a prayer shawl she was making for a little girl at her church, and it had the V stitch in it. So I really liked the stitch. And so what I did is I Googled it on YouTube, learned how to do it, which is very, very simple. It's simply a double crochet and then a single crochet and a double crochet into the same stitch. So it's really easy, but it really looks nice. And I thought, you know, I could put this in here, and it kind of represented my friendship with my coworker. So I put that in here for the next section. And then there is not striping, but it does sort of change color a couple times. And then we go to a type of a granny stripe. And then at the very end here, I'm at a little bit of striping here as well. So since last week, I crocheted from here. Let's go ahead and hold it up. I crocheted from here all the way up through here. And then on the other side, I'm in the process of doing the same thing. Just lost my crochet hook. I've just completed the V stitch here, and now I'm working up through that section of striping. So it is coming right along. Like I said, I've only got a little bit of yarn left. I really thought I was going to finish this week. I will definitely be finished for next week. So next week, hopefully, you will see it done and blocked. That's my goal, at least, is to have it as a finished object. Let me untangle my skein of yarn here that I've got wadded up all over the place. And I will try to hold it up. It is longer than my arms can stretch, so I'll do the best I can. But here we go. It goes from this end here, and then it goes across. There's the center, and then it goes across on this side over to here. And weight-wise, this does feel kind of heavy because it is cotton, and it's not quite a worsted weight, but it's a heavy fingering. It's not a light fingering. So yeah, it's got some weight to it. But yeah, I think it'll be fine. And I look forward to see what it looks like when it gets blocked. So there it is. That is the wrap that I'm designing. That will hopefully be finished next week. Now let's take a look at what you all have been making. Now, I have a couple of things for acquisitions this week. The first would be the shawl pins. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, I ordered some. They're actually the hair things that you stick in your hair with a pin that goes through them, if you remember them from the 70s. I thought about those and thought those would make ideal shawl pins. So I ordered a couple off of eBay, and I think I paid like $1 or $2 a piece. I got them super cheap. I'm glad I didn't pay much for them. They will do the job, but one is okay. One looks super cheap. Okay, here's the first one. It looks fairly decent. I can actually, I mean, this is smaller than what I thought it was going to be. I was thinking it was going to be more this size. But it is at least decently made. I can bend this. It is along the bendy side. My hair actually does fit in this. I have extremely thin hair, so it does actually fit in here, but because my hair is really thin, this would just fall out. There's no way it would stay in my hair. And this is the pin that goes through it. I have no idea why they put a hole in the pin. It reminds me of, Fran Derrick has been showing her nail binding. It reminds me of a needle for nail binding. It's even got the little hole at the end. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be my idea for a shawl pin in that, let me show you on the dishcloth. Like if this was a shawl, you could put this here and then put this through like that to hold your shawl in place. So that's what I got them for. You know, when you wrap your shawl around or you drape it over your shoulder, you could hook this to keep it from going anywhere. Like I said, it's kind of cheap, but I figured for $1, I think they were $1.99 at the most. I don't know if I even paid that much. No more than that, okay? So this one's in gold. Now this is the super cheap one, the one I'm going to show you in the silver. It is bigger. This thing was so bent out of shape when I got it. I had to bend it back. It's extremely bendy. But look at the pin. The pin is like really, 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 really cheap. Again, it'll do the job, and I'm glad I didn't pay much for it. There's no way my hair would go through something that small. Although, because it's so bendy, I could bend this up and make it work. But I didn't buy it to use in my hair. I used it to buy as shawl pins. So, there it is in its $2 glory. So, yeah, you get what you pay for. This was super cheap, but oh well, it'll work. It'll work. So, that was my big expensive purchase. Then I told you about my orange sweater and buying more yarn. Yellow. Not orange. It's lemon yellow. Now, it's not the fault of the seller. Monitors, when you look at them in the computer, it didn't say what color it was. It just showed pictures, and in the pictures, it looked like it was a light orange. It didn't look like it was as dark of an orange as the other solid one that I have. So I thought I was getting orange, and I got lemon yellow. It looks more pastel in the color here. It's not. This is bright lemon yellow. I mean bright. Just, yes. It's not even banana. It's lemon yellow. So, it's not going to work for my sweater. I'm just going to stick it aside. It is really nice. I mean, it's very soft. You know, it's nice yarn. It's cheap. I think I paid maybe $2 per skein at the most. I don't know if it was even that much. And it was free shipping. So, this is what the brand looks like now. I can't even begin to tell you what it says. It's all in Chinese. But like I said, it is decent yarn. It is made out of bamboo, as you can see. There's bamboo in the picture. And I do like it. It's just not the right color. So the funny thing is I actually have some of this in this color already set aside. Now I have more. I guess I could, if worse came to worse, I could make more dishcloths, except that this is not a heavy yarn. This is definitely a fingering weight. So you can see it's really, it's a fingering weight. It's very thin. So, yeah. So my acquisitions were like on the disappointing side this week. So now let's get started with our Now in our Come and Get It section this week, I will start, I try to do them in alphabetical order just because it's easier. And I have another affiliate link this time, so I will tell you about it when we get to it. So first off, there is Annie's, and over at Annie's Craft Store, they have a couple of tunics. They have a crocheted one and a knitted one. The crocheted one is called the Open Sleeve Tunic. And the pattern for it is $6.99 if you just do a download. It's $8.99 if you download and then have it so you can print it. If you just do a regular download, it's more like an app that you can open and read from like an e-reader or something, but it doesn't apparently have the ability to print out. So it's $6.99 if you want that. If you want a version of it that you can then print out, it's $8.99. Over in their knitted section, they have one called the Serafina Tunic pattern. The pattern for that is $7.99. I liked both of those patterns. I thought they were really pretty. I don't tend to wear tunics because I am only 5'4", and when I wear a tunic, it makes me look even shorter. But I do like them. They do cover your hips, which is a good thing. So, maybe I should just wear a tent. It would take care of the whole problem. But anyway, they are also offering a deal. If you buy 3 items, you can get 15% off. If you buy 5, you get 20% off. So again, that is over at Annie's Craft Store. Bluprint is running 50% off of their home decor crochet kits. So, you know, crochet things to make like pillows, stuff like that. Home decor crochet kits are 50% off. They also are running 40% off of beginner knit kits. Now you have to click through the beginner knit clicks. Yeah, you have to click through the beginner knit kits. There, I got it right. In order to see, because I'm not sure what they consider beginner knit. So you have to make sure that their beginner knit and your beginner knit are the same thing. But they're 40% off. They also are offering 30% off of your purchase. You do need to use the coupon code EXTRA30. So that is Bluprint. Consumer Crafts has their journals for $5.97. Now I'm going to show you one. This is what I do my YouTube notes in. As you can see, YouTube notes. There are, this is a 5 by 8.25, and there are 234 pages. Now they're not lined. This was meant as an artist's notebook, so you can see they're unlined. They're meant for drawing. I put my YouTube notes in, as you can see. Well, where's this week's? As you can see, right there. And then they also have a little place marker, book marker. Yeah, they have a book marker, and they have an elastic on the back that you can hold it closed with. I bought one of these. I'm one of these people that I like a planner. I don't decorate my planner. I don't do stickers. I don't do all that because maybe it's just me, but the whole idea of a planner is to be more time efficient, and it just doesn't seem efficient use of my time to be sticking stickers in a book that's going to get thrown out. Because I don't keep any of that. Once the year's over, I get rid of it. But I did buy one of these, but I bought it in a different color. I got it in a turquoise color. It's called Acadia. And I got one of these, and then I drew inside it the calendar, and I put down, you know, I set it up how I wanted for my planner. My idea of planner is basically I put the days of the week, and then I have my to-do list. And I just like the feeling of crossing things off when I get them accomplished. And sometimes, if I've forgotten to cross them off, if I've forgotten to write them in and I've done something, I will write it in just so I have the excitement and thrill of crossing it off and feeling like I've accomplished something. I know, that's a little on the crazy side, but yeah, that's me. But anyway, I am a person that tends to use a planner just because I like the feeling of being able to cross things off at the end of the day and know that I didn't miss getting something done that should have been done. The only, quote, decorating I do is I write everything in a normal color pen, and if it's an appointment or a birthday, I write it in red. So, again, I'm not a fancy planner person. I don't spend, like, some of those planners can be $50 or more. I don't do that because I don't save it from year to year. It gets tossed. But anyway, this planner in particular that I set up, it's $5.97. So that is from Consumer Crafts. They also do sell planner stickers for Happy Planner, things like that. If you are into planners and decorating them and things, they do sell stuff in scrap. They do sell stuff as scrapbooking supplies. So anyway, that is Consumer Crafts. Over on Create for Less, they have an adorable crochet kit for llama. It's called Stitching Kids. It's K-I-D-Z. Kids. Yes, Stitching. I'll put it down here. Anyway, they have Stitching Kids crochet kit, and it's a llama, and it is so cute. It was adorable. Anyway, yeah, I thought it was cute. It's $6.95 or $6.59, and that includes the pattern, the yarn, a plastic crochet hook, and a plastic darning needle. So it includes everything that you need, and the wiggly eyes. It includes a little wiggly eye. Can't forget the wiggly eyes. Those are in there too. So anyway, that is $6.59, and of course you can reuse the pattern over and over again. So that's not bad. They had other little critters you could make too, but I like llamas, so I just had to focus on the llama. Now, the new affiliate link that I have is the Dollar Tree. Now, some of you, I don't know, I don't think they're international. The Dollar Tree, I think, is just here in the U.S. But anyway, you may be going, Katrina, why do you have the Dollar Tree as an affiliate link? Because they started selling yarn at the Dollar Tree. Now, I have bought some yarn at the Dollar Tree. I actually got some a while back, trying to think what kind it was. I think it was Vanna. I think it was a Vanna's Choice or something. I mean, it was decent yarn. I was pleasantly surprised. But yes, they are selling yarn. Now, if you go on their website, and the link is down below, I mean, you can walk into the store and buy it, but they don't always have the yarn. Sometimes they do. Some of the bigger ones do. Some of the smaller stores, like my local store, I have not seen it. The yarns are the Dollar Tree up in Chambersburg. That's where I found the yarn. So it's kind of hit or miss in the store. But if you go onto the website, you can buy it. Now, you do need to buy an entire lot, which is 6 skeins, so it's $6. But yeah, $6, and you could pay shipping and have it shipped to your house, or you can make arrangements in some cases and have it sent to the store that's near you, and then just pick it up from there. You don't have any shipping fees. So, in fact, one of our viewers, and I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure it was Kathleen Champ. It was either Dee Thompson or Kathleen Champ. It was one of the two of them actually did this and bought a whole bunch of yarn, and it was decent yarn. I think it's called Premium Yarns. I mean, it's acrylic, but $1 a skein, you can't go bad, or you can't go wrong. And I looked at it earlier today, and they were selling a whole bunch of cotton yarn for $1. You could make lots of dishcloths with that for $1. So, yeah. The other thing Dollar Tree sells that I find interesting, they sell cards. I went in at the beginning of the summer because most of my grandchildren's birthdays are in the summer, and I bought every single one of them their birthday cards ahead of time and sat them on a little pocket thing on my refrigerator so I don't have to run out to the store at the last minute. But you can get cards there for anywhere from 2 for $1 or $1. So, and seeing this is something that someone's going to read and throw away, I try not to spend too much on greeting cards. So I buy my greeting cards there. I also have bought calendars there. In fact, I bought one like a couple weeks ago. The last time I was in the dollar store, I picked up my calendar. I have picked planners up there too. Like the little pocket planners you carry in your pocketbook. I've gotten those there, and plastic plants, because I kill all my real plants. We have no real plants in the house, because every single one of them, it's a death sentence when they cross the threshold, because they get dried or drowned at my house. I have never done well with plants at all. If they're outside, they do fine for the most part, but indoors, not so much. So every plant we have is plastic. But I've gotten them from the dollar store, so I can't complain. So anyway, that is the new affiliate link, is the Dollar Tree. So go over and check it out, and check out the yarn. There was quite a lot of it. I mean, I'm not talking just like little bits and pieces. There was quite a few selections there. So, yeah, check that out. Over at Hobium, they have a clearance section and their stars of the month. Those are both sections to look at because that's where their sales are, and that's where I tend to shop. And Ice Yarns also has a garage sale section and a closeout section, which again are the sections that I look for. So speaking of Hobium and Ice Yarns, it was requested, I asked if some of you were interested if I did a tutorial on how I shop those two websites, because they both can be overwhelming, but Ice Yarns especially has so big of a selection that it is really intimidating to go on their site sometimes. You don't know what to look at because there's just hundreds of different things to look at. So I'm going to show a tutorial. Some of you said you would find that helpful. So I will be doing a tutorial for Wednesday on Hobium and Ice Yarns and how I shop for yarn on those two websites. Knit Crate, you can get 20% off of your first box. You do need to use the coupon code KCreations20. So if you have not received your Knit Crate, and if you're wondering why I haven't done an unboxing for August for Knit Crate, I have not received it yet. Apparently there are some protests going on over in Peru where the yarn is coming from, and it's just not safe right now for them to deal with the shipping. So it is coming, but they want to make sure it's done safely. So, and I understand that totally. People's lives are not worth, their yarn is not worth people's lives. So, yeah, so it'll get here when it gets here. Anyway, that's what the holdup is. If you have not received your Knit Crate and you're wondering where it is, that's what's going on. They did send an email out and let us know what was happening, but just in case you missed the email, that's what's happening. Now, over at Knit Picks, they are offering $20 off of an order of $100 or more. So you basically get $100 worth of yarn for $80. You do need to use a coupon code FLASH20. Now, Leisure Arts is offering, I always check their knitting and their crochet section and see what's new over there. Over in the knitting section, they have several poncho patterns right now. And over in the crochet section, they have some Scrappy Afghans. So if you like my Scrappy Afghan, you might look over there and see if there's something that you would have an interest in too. So that is Leisure Arts. Lion Brand is offering 40% off of all of their kits, which is really good. You do need to use the coupon code 40OFF-KITS. Now, I will put it down below, but make sure it is 40, not the capital letter O, and the off is the capital letter O. So you make sure it's 40, capital O, F, KITS. Otherwise, it's not going to work on the coupon code. So just don't get your 0 and your capital O confused. They also are offering, now this is fun, and I went over and looked at it. If you like children's crochet patterns, they are offering a whole bunch of free patterns right now. It's called Rainbow Brights Free Patterns. They're all for crochet, and they are all baby things, like blankets. There's, I think, a hat and booties, and I forget what all was over there. There's like 8 or 9 patterns, and they're all free. So if you like making stuff for babies and you like to crochet, go check it out, because they're free. You can't go wrong. They're free. So, yes, that is it for this week. Again, Wednesday's video is going to be a tutorial on navigating the Hobium and Ice websites in order to buy yarn. Yes, as if I need more yarn, but it's fun. It's fun to shop. So, also make sure you have subscribed. If you haven't already, click that little red button down below, because come October, we are going to be doing a big several-week giveaway in celebration of my 3 years of podcasting at this point. So we will be building up for that. So, but you will have to be a subscriber to participate. So why not do it now? Anyway, that is it for this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, everybody.